Hari Om. Hari Om everyone. Can you all hear me? I'm sure everybody has heard the last Sunday's transition plan that I had shared with. We had a open house, or not open house, town hall meet, I think. So we have a town hall meet and explained everything. If you still have any questions, feel free to definitely reach out. I will try to answer whatever is in my hand that I can answer. But the general outpour has been very overwhelmingly supportive. I cannot thank enough for the support. Having said that, I think it is unwise to keep continuing on the same topic for next 6 months. As and when there are changes or newer information, I'll keep you posted, because there are many factors which I myself don't know, other than the fact that relocating is happening, but when also is almost decided, but not yet decided completely. But where and other things, I'll keep posting. So we will continue with the Bhagavatam after the Lalita Sahasranama chanting. In Bhagavatam, we are in a very beautiful episode where it is Dhruva Charitra, and Dhruva meets his guru and he gets his mantra diksha. So we will see that in a short while. We'll start with the invocation. We'll go through Lalita Sahasranama, and then we will shift gears and jump into Bhagavatam. So please join in. ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः Let us start the Lalita Sahasranama. ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं सिन्दूरारुणविग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरत् तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यां मलिपूर्णरत्नचषकं रक्तोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् अरुणां करुणातरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अणिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैः अहमित्येव विभावये भवानीं ध्यायेत् पद्मासनस्थां विकसितवदनां पद्मपत्रायताक्षीं हेमाभां पीतवस्त्रां करकलितलसद्धेमपद्मां वराङ्गीं सर्वालङ्कारयुक्तां सततमभयदां भक्तनम्रां भवानीं श्रीविद्यां शान्तमूर्तिं सकलसुरनुतां सर्वसत्प्रदात्रीं सकुङ्कुमविलेपनामलिकचुम्बिकस्तूरिकां समन्दहसितेक्षणां सशरचापपाशाङ्कुशाम् अशेषजनमोहिनीमरुणमाल्यभूषाम्बरां जपाकुसुमभासुरां जपविधौ स्मरेदम्बिकाम्। ॐ श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञी श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवकार्यसमुद्यता उद्यद्भानुसहस्राभा चतुर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपपाषाढ्या क्रोधाकाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला मनोरूपेक्षुगोदण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरा मज्जद्ब्रह्माण्डमण्डला चम्पकाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कचा कुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणी कनत्कोटीरमण्डिता अष्टमी चन्द्रविभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचन्द्रकलङ्काभा मृगनाभिविशेषका वदनस्मरमाङ्गल्य गृहतोरणचिल्लिका वक्लक्ष्मीपरिवाह चलन्मीनाभलोचना नवचम्पकपुष्पाभा नासादण्डविराजिता ताराकान्तितिरस्कारी नासाभरणभासुरा कदम्बमञ्जरीकृप्तकर्णपूरमनोहरा ताटङ्कयुगलीभूता तपनोडुपमण्डला पद्मरागशिलादर्शा परिभाविकपोलभूः नवविद्रुमबिम्बश्रीचङ्कारिरदनच्छदा शुद्धविद्याङ्कुराकारा द्विजपङ्क्तिद्वयोज्ज्वला कर्पूरवीटिकामोदा समाकर्षिदिगन्तरा निजसल्लापमाधुर्या विनिर्भत्सितकच्छपी मन्दस्मितप्रभापूरा मज्जत्कामेशमानसा अनाकलितसादृश्या चिबुकश्रीविराजिता कामेशबद्धमाङ्गल्य सूत्रशोभितकन्दरा कनकाङ्गदकेयूरा कमनीयभुजान्विता रत्नग्रैवेयचिन्ता कलोलमुक्ता फलान्विता कामेश्वर प्रेमरत्न मणिप्रतिपिनस्तनी नाभ्यालवाल रोमाली लता फलकुचद्वयी लक्षरोमलताधार तासमुन्नेय मध्यमा स्तनभारदलन्मध्य पट्टबन्धवलित्रया अरुणारुण कौसुम्भ वस्त्रभास्वत्कटीतटी रत्नकिङ्किणिकारम्या रशनादाम्भूषिता कामेशज्ञातसौभाग्यमार्दवोरुद्वयान्विता माणिक्यमुकुटाकारा जानुद्वयविराजिता इन्द्रगोपरिक्षिप्ता स्मरत्तूर्णाभजङ्गिका गूढगुल्फा कूर्मपुष्टा जयिष्णुप्रपदान्विता नखदीधिति सञ्चन्ना नमज्जनतमो गुणा पदद्वयप्रभाजाला पराकृतसरोरुहा सिञ्जाणमणिमञ्जीरमण्डितश्रीपदाम्बुजा मरालीमन्दगमना महालावण्यशेवतिः सर्वारुणानमद्याङ्गी सर्वाभरणभूषिता शिवकामेश्वराङ्कस्था शिवा स्वाधीनवल्लभा सुमेरुमध्यशृङ्गस्था श्रीमन्नगरनायिका चिन्तामणिगृहान्तस्था पञ्चब्रह्मासनस्थिता महापद्माटवी संस्था कदम्बवनवासिनी सुधासागर मध्यस्था कामाक्षी कामदायिनी देवर्षिगण संघाता स्तूयमानात्मवैभवा भण्डासुरवधोत्युक्ता शक्तिसेना समन्विता संपत्करी समारूढ़ा सिन्धुरव्रतसेविता अश्वारूढ़ाधिष्ठिताश्व कोटिकोटिभिरावृता चक्रराजरथारूढ़ा सर्वायुधपरिष्कृता गेयचक्ररथारूढ़ा मन्त्रिणी परिसेविता गिरिचक्ररथारूढ़ा दण्डनाथा पुरस्कृता ज्वालामालिन्काक्षिप्त वह्निप्राकारमध्यगा भण्डसैन्यवधोद्युक्ता शक्तिविक्रमहर्षिता नित्यापराक्रमाटोपा निरीक्षणसमुत्सुका भण्डपुत्रवधोद्युक्ता बाला विक्रमनन्दिता मन्त्रिण्यम्बा विरचिता विषङ्गवदतोषिता विशुक्रप्राणहरणा वाराही वीर्यनन्दिता कामेश्वरमुखालोककल्पितश्रीगणेश्वरा महागणेशनिर्भिन्ना विघ्नयन्त्रप्रहर्षिता भण्डासुरेन्द्रनिर्मुक्ता शस्त्रप्रत्यस्त्रवर्षिणी कराङ्गुलिनखोत्पन्ना नारायणदशाकृतिः महापाशुपतास्त्राग्नि निर्दग्धासुरसैनिका कामेश्वरास्त्रनिर्दग्धा सभण्डासुरशून्यका ब्रह्मोपेन्द्र महेन्द्रादि देवसंस्तुतवैभवा हर नेत्राग्निसन्दग्धा कामसञ्जीवनौषधिः श्रीमद्वाग्भवकूटैका मुख स्वरूप मुखपङ्कजा कण्ठादक्कटिपर्यन्ता मध्यकूटस्वरूपिणी शक्तिकूटैकतापन्ना कट्यदोभागधारिणी मूलमन्त्रात्मिका मूलकूटत्रयकलेवरा कुलामृतैकरसिका कुलसङ्केतपालिनी कुलाङ्गना कुलान्तस्था कौलिनी कुलयोगिनी अकुला समयान्तस्था समयाचार तत्परा मूलाधारैकनिलया ब्रह्मग्रन्थिविभेदिनी मणिपूरान्तरुदिता विष्णुग्रन्थिविभेदिनी आज्ञाचक्रान्तरालस्था रुद्रग्रन्थिविभेदिनी सहस्राराम्बुजारूढा सुधासाराभिवर्षिणी तडिल्लता समरुचि षट्चक्रोपरि संस्थिता महाशक्तिः कुण्डलिनी विसदन्तुतनीयसी भवानी भावनागम्या भवारण्यकुठारिका भद्रप्रिया भद्रमूर्तिर्भक्तसौभाग्यदायिनी भक्तिप्रिया भक्तिगम्या भक्तिवश्या भयापहा शाम्भवी शारदाराध्या शर्वाणी शर्मदायिनी शाङ्करी श्रीकरी साध्वी शरच्चन्द्रनिभानना शातोदरी शान्तिमती निराधारा निरञ्जना निर्लेपा निर्मला नित्या निराकारा निराकुला निर्गुणा निष्कला शान्ता निष्कामा निरुपप्लवा नित्यमुक्ता निर्विकारा निष्प्रपंचा निराश्रया नित्यशुद्धा नित्यबुद्धा निरवध्या निरंतरा निष्कारणा निष्कलंका निरुपाधिर्निरीश्वरा नीरागारा गमथनी निर्मदामदनाशिनी निश्चिंता निरहंकारा निर्मोहा मोहनाशिनी निर्ममा ममताहंत्री निष्पापा पापनाशिनी निष्क्रोधा क्रोधशमनी निर्लोभा लोभनाशिनी निस्संशया संशयग्नि निर्भवा भवनाशिनी निर्विकल्पा निराबाधा निर्भेदा भेदनाशिनी निर्नाशा मृत्युमथनी निष्क्रिया निष्परिग्रहा निस्तुला नीलचिकुरा निरपाया निरत्या दुर्लभा दुर्गमा दुर्गा दुःखहंत्री सुखप्रदा दुष्टदूरा दुराचारा शमनी दोषवर्जिता सर्वज्ञा सान्द्र करुणा समानाधिकवर्जिता सर्वशक्तिमयी सर्वमंगला सद्गतिप्रदा सर्वेश्वरी सर्वमयी सर्वमंत्रस्वरूपिणी सर्वयंत्रात्मिका सर्वतंत्ररूपा मनोन्मनी माहेश्वरी महादेवी महालक्ष्मीर्मृणप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्वा महाशक्तिर्महारतिः महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धिर्महासिद्धिर्महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्रा महामंत्रा महायंत्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पा महातांडवसाक्षिणी महाकामेश महिषी महात्रिपुरसुंदरी चतुष्षष्टुपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टिकलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटि योगिनी गणसेविता मनोविद्या चंद्रविद्या चंद्रमंडलमध्यगा चारुरूपा चारुहासा चारुचंद्रकलाधरा चराचर जगन्नाथा चक्रराजनकेतना पार्वती पद्मनयना पद्मराग समप्रभा पंचप्रेतासनासीना पंचब्रह्मस्वरूपिणी चिन्मयी परमानंदा विज्ञान घनरूपिणी ध्यान ध्यात्र ध्येय रूपा धर्मा धर्म विवर्जिता विश्वरूपा जागरिणी स्वपंथी तैवसात्मिका सुप्ता प्राज्ञात्मिका तुर्या सर्वावस्था विवर्जिता सृष्टिकर्त्री ब्रह्मरूपा गोप्त्री गोविंद रूपिणी संहारिणी रुद्ररूपा तिरोधानकरीश्वरी सदाशिवानुग्रहदा पंचकृत्यपरायणा भानुमंडल मध्यस्था भैरवी भगमालिनी पद्मासना भगवती पद्मनाभ सहोदरी उन्मेष निमिषोत्पन्न विपन्न भुवनावली सहस्रशीर्षवदना सहस्राक्षी सहस्रपात आब्रह्मकीट जननी वर्णाश्रम विधायिनी निजाज्ञारूप निगमान् पुण्या पुण्यफलप्रदा श्रुति सीमंत सिंदूरी कृतपादाब्ज धूलिका सकल आगम संदोहा शुक्ति संपुट मुक्तिका पुरुषार्थ प्रदा पूर्णा भोगिनी भुवनेश्वरी अंबिकानादि निधना हरिब्रह्मेन्द्र सेविता नारायणी नादरूपा नामरूप विवर्जिता ह्रींकारी ह्रीमती हृदय हेयोपादेयवर्जिता राजराजार्चिता राज्ञी रम्या राजीवलोचना रंजनी रमणीरस्या रणत् किंकिणी मेखला रमा राकेन्दुवदना रतिरूपा रतिप्रिया रक्षा करी राक्षसग्नि रामा रमणलंपटा काम्या कामकलारूपा कदम्बकुसुमप्रिया कल्याणी जगती कंदा करुणा रससागरा कलावती कलालापा कांता कादंबरी प्रिया वरदा वामनयना वारुणी मदविह्वला विश्वाधिका वेदवेद्या विंध्याचल निवासिनी विधात्री वेद जननी विष्णुमाया विलासिनी क्षेत्रस्वरूपा क्षेत्रेशी क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञपालिनी क्षय वृद्धि विनिर्मुक्ता क्षेत्रपाल समर्चिता विजया विमला वंद्या वंदारुजनवत्सला वाग्वादिनी वामकेशी वह्निमंडलवासिनी भक्तिमत्कल्पलतिका पशुपाश विमोचनी संहृताशेष पाषंडा सदाचार प्रवर्तिका तापत्रयाग्नि संतप्ता समाह्लादन चंद्रिका तरुणी तापसाराध्या तनुमध्या तमोपहा चितस्तत्पद लक्षार्था चिदेक रसरूपिणी स्वात्मानंदल विभूता ब्रह्माद्यानंद संतति परा प्रत्यक्षिति रूपा पश्यन्ति परदेवता मध्यमा वैखरी रूपा भक्तमानसंसिका कामेश्वर प्राणनाड़ी कृतज्ञा कामपूजिता श्रृंगार रस संपूर्ण जया जालंधर स्थिता ओड्यान पीठ निलया बिंदुमंडलवासिनी रहो यागक्रम आराध्य रहस्तर्पण तर्पिता सद्य प्रसादिनी विश्वसाक्षिणी साक्षिवर्जिता षडंग देवता युक्ता षाड्गुण्य परिपूरिता नित्यक्लिन्ना निरुपमा निर्वाण सुखदायिनी नित्या षोडशिका रूपा श्रीकंठा अर्धशरीरिणी प्रभावती प्रभारूपा प्रसिद्धा परमेश्वरी मूल प्रकृतिरव्यक्ता व्यक्ता व्यक्तस्वरूपिणी व्यापिनी विविधाकारा विद्या विद्यास्वरूपिणी कामेश महाकामेश नयना कुमुद आह्लाद कौमुदी भक्तहार्दतमोभेद भानुमद्भानुसंततिः शिवदूती शिवाराध्या शिवमूर्ति शिवंकरी शिवप्रिया शिवपरा शिष्टेष्टा शिष्टपूजिता अप्रमेया स्वप्रकाशा मनोवाचामगोचरा चिच्छक्तिश्चेतना रूपा जडशक्तिर्जडात्मिका गायत्री व्याहृति संध्या द्विजवृंद निषेविता तत्वासना तत्वमयी पंचकोशांतरस्थिता निस्सीम महिमानित्य यौवनामदशालिनी मद घूर्णित रक्ताक्षी मदपाटलगंडभूः चंदनद्रव दिग्धांगी चांपेय कुसुम प्रिया कुशला कोमलाकारा कुरुकुल्लाकुलेश्वरी कुलकुंडालया कौल मार्ग तत्पर सेविता कुमार गणनाथांबा तुष्टिपुष्टिर्मते धतिः शांति स्वस्तिमती कांतिर्नंदिनी विघ्ननाशिनी तेजोवती त्रिनयना लोलाक्षी कामरूपिणी मालिनी हंसिनी माता मलयाचलवासिनी सुमुखी नलिनी सुप्रशोभना असुरनायिका कालकंठी कांतिमती क्षोभिनी सूक्ष्मरूपिणी वज्रेश्वरी वामदेवी वयोवस्था विवर्जिता सिद्धेश्वरी सिद्धविद्या सिद्धमाता यशस्विनी विशुद्ध चक्रनिलया रक्तवर्णा त्रिलोचना खट्वांगादि प्रहरणा वदनैक समन्विता पायसान्न प्रियात्वस्था पशुलोकभयंकरी अमृतादि महाशक्ति समृता डाकिनीश्वरी अनाहताब्जनिलया श्यामा भावदनद्वया दंश्रोज्ज्वला क्षमालादि धरा रुधिर संस्थिता कालरात्र्यादि शक्त्यौघ वृता स्निग्धौधन प्रिया महावीरेन्द्र वरदा राकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी मणिपूराब्ज निलया वदन त्रय संयुता वज्रादिका युधोपेता डामर्यादिभिरावृता रक्तवर्णा मांसनिष्ठा गुणान्न प्रीतमानसा समस्त भक्त सुखदा लाकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी स्वाधिष्ठानां भुजगता चतुर्वक्त्र मनोहरा शूलाद्यायुध संपन्ना पीतवर्णातिगर्विता मेधोनिष्ठा मधुप्रीता बद्धिन्या समन्विता दध्यन्नासक्त हृदया काकिनी रूपधारिणी मूलाधारां मूलाधारांबुजारूढ़ा पंचवक्त्रास्त्र संस्थिता अंकुशादि प्रहरणा वरदादिनिषेविता मुद्गौदनासक्तचित्ता साकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी आज्ञा चक्राब्जनिलया शुक्लवर्णा षडानना मज्जा संस्था हंसमती मुख्य शक्ति समन्विता हरिद्रानैक रसिका हाकिनी रूपधारिणी सहस्रदल पद्मस्था सर्ववर्णोपशोभिता सर्वायुधधरा शुक्ला संस्थिता सर्वतोमुखी सर्वोदन प्रीतचित्ता याकिन्यंबा स्वरूपिणी स्वाहा स्वधा मतिर्मेधा श्रुतिस्मृतिरनुत्तमा पुण्यकीर्ति पुण्यलभ्या पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना पुलोमजार्चिता बंधमोचनी बंधुरालका विमर्शरूपिणी विद्या वेदाज्यगत्पशुः सर्वव्याधिप्रशमनी सर्वमृत्युनिवारिणी अग्रगण्या चिन्त्यरूपा कलिकल्मषनाशिनी कात्यायनी कालहन्त्री कमलाक्षनिषेविता ताम्बूलपूरितमुखी दाडिमी कुसुमप्रभा मृगाक्षी मोहिनी मुख्या मृडानी मित्ररूपिणी नित्यतृप्ता भक्तनिधिर्नियंत्री निखिलेश्वरी मैत्र्यादिवासनालभ्या महाप्रलय साक्षिणी पराशक्ति परानिष्ठा प्रज्ञान घनरूपिणी माध्वीपानालसामत्ता मातृका वर्णरूपिणी महाकैलास निलया मृणाल मृदोर्लता महनीया दयामूर्तिर्महासाम्राज्यशालिनी आत्मविद्या महाविद्या श्रीविद्या कामसेविता श्री षोडशाक्षरी विद्या त्रिकूटा कामकोटिका कटाक्षकिंकरीभूता कमला कोटिसेविता शिरस्थिता चंद्रनिभा भालस्तेन्द्रधनुप्रभा हृदयस्थार विप्रख्या त्रिकोणांतरदीपिका दाक्षायनी दैत्यहंती दक्षयज्ञ विनाशिनी दरांदोलित दीर्घाक्षी दरहासोज्ज्वलन्मुखी गुरुमूर्तिर्गुणनिधिर्गोमाता गुहजन्मभूः देवेशी दंडनीतिस्था दहर आकाशरूपिणी प्रतिपन्मुख्य राकांति तिथिमंडलपूजिता कलात्मिका कलानाथा काव्यालाप विनोदिनी सचामररमावाणी सव्यदक्षिणसेविता आदिशक्तिरमेयात्मा परमापावनाकृतिः अनेकोटि ब्रह्मांड जननी दिव्य विग्रह क्लींकारी केवला गुह्या कैवल्यपदायिनी त्रिपुरा त्रिजगद्वन्द्या त्रिमूर्तिस्तशेश्वरी त्र्यक्षरी दिव्यगंधाढ्या सिंधूरतलकांचिता उमा शैलेन्द्रतनया गौरी गंधर्वसेविता विश्वगर्भा स्वर्णगर्भा वरदा वागधीश्वरी ध्यानगम्या परिच्छेद्या ज्ञानदा ज्ञान विग्रह सर्ववेदांत संवेद्या सत्यानंद स्वरूपिणी लोपामुद्रार्चिता लीला कृप्त ब्रह्मांड मंडला अदृश्यादृश्य रहिता विज्ञात्री वेद्यवर्जिता योगिनी योगदा योग्या योगानंदा युगंधरा इच्छाशक्ति ज्ञानशक्ति क्रियाशक्ति स्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रतिष्ठा सदसद्रूपधारिणी अष्टमूर्तिरजा जैत्री लोकयात्रा विधायिनी एकाकिनी भूमरूपा निर्द्वैताद्वैतवर्जिता अन्नदावसुधा वृद्धा ब्रह्मात्म ऐक्यस्वरूपिणी बृहदी ब्राह्मणी ब्राह्मी ब्रह्मानंदावलिप्रिया भाषा रूपा बृहत्सेना भावा भाव विवर्जिता सुखाराध्या शुभकरी शोभना सुलभा गतिः राजराजेश्वरी राज्यदायिनी राज्यवल्लभा राजत्कृपा राजपीठ निवेशत निजाश्रिता राज्यलक्ष्मी कोशनाथा चतुरंगबलेश्वरी साम्राज्यदायिनी सत्यसंधा सागरमेखला दीक्षिता दैत्यशमनी सर्वलोकवशंकरी सर्वार्थदात्री सावित्री सच्चिदानंदरूपिणी देशकाला परिच्छिन्ना सर्वगा सर्वमोहिनी सरस्वती शास्त्रमयी गुहाम्बा गुह्यरूपिणी सर्वोपाधि निर्मुक्ता सदाशिवपतिव्रता संप्रदायेश्वरी साध्वी गुरुमंडलरूपिणी कुलोत्तीर्णा भगाराध्या माया मधुमतिमही गणाम्बा गुह्यकाराध्या कोवलांगी गुरुप्रिया स्वतंत्रा सर्वतंत्रेशी दक्षिणामूर्तिरूपिणी सनकादिसमाराध्या शिवज्ञानप्रदायिनी चित्कलानंद कलिका प्रेमरूपा प्रियंकरी नामपारायण प्रीता नंदी विद्यानटेश्वरी मिथ्या जगदधिष्ठाना मुक्तिदा मुक्तिरूपिणी लास्य प्रिया लयकरी लज्जारंबादिवंदिता भवदावसुदावष्ट प्रापान्यदवानला दौर्भाग्यतूल वातूला जराध्वांतर विप्रभा भाग्याब्दिचंद्रिका भक्त चित्त केकी घना घना रोग पर्वत दंबोली मृत्युदारु कुठारिका महेश्वरी महाकाली महाग्रासा महाशना अपर्णा चंडिका चंड मुंडासुर निशूदिनी क्षराक्षरात्मिका सर्वलोकेशी विश्वधारिणी त्रिवर्गदात्री सुभगा त्र्यंबका त्रिगुणात्मिका स्वर्गापवर्गदा शुद्धा जपा पुष्पनिभाकृति ओजोवती दुधिधरा यज्ञरूपा प्रियव्रता दुराराध्या दुरादर्शा पाटली कुसुमप्रिया महती मेरुनिलया मंदार कुसुमप्रिया वीराराध्या विराटरूपा विरजा विश्वतोमुखी प्रत्यक रूपा पराकाशा प्राणदा प्राणरूपिणी मार्तांड भैरवाराध्या मंत्रिणी न्यस्तराज्यदूः त्रिपुरेशी जयत्सेना निस्त्रैगुण्या परापरा सत्यज्ञानानंद रूपा सामरस्य परायणा कपर्दनी कलामाला कामधुक्कामरूपिणी कलानिधि काव्यकला रसज्ञा रससेवदिः पुष्टा पुरातना पूज्या पुष्करा पुष्करेक्षणा परंज्योतिः परंधाम परमाणुः परात्परा पाशहस्ता पाशहंत्री परमंत्र विभेदिनी मूर्ता मूर्ता नित्यतृप्ता मुनिमानसंसिका सत्यव्रता सत्यरूपा सर्वांतर्यामिनी सती ब्रह्माणी ब्रह्मजननी बहुरूपा बुधार्चिता प्रसवेत्री प्रचंडाज्ञा प्रतिष्ठापकटाकृतिः प्राणेश्वरी प्राणदात्री पंचाशत्पीठरूपिणी विशृंखला विविक्तस्था वीरमाता वियत्प्रसूः मुकुंदा मुक्तिनिलया मूलविग्रहरूपिणी भावज्ञा भवरोगग्नि भवचक्रप्रवर्तिनी छंदस्सारा शास्त्रसारा मंत्रसारा तलोदरी उदार कीर्ति उद्दाम वैभव आवरण रूपिणी जन्म मृत्युजरा तप्त जन विश्रांतिदायिनी सर्वोपनिषद उद्घुष्टा शांत्यतीता कलात्मिका गंभीरा गगनांतस्था गर्विता गानलोलुपा कल्पनारहिता काष्ठा कांता कांतार्ध विग्रहा कार्यकारण निर्मुक्ता कामकेली तरंगिता कनत कनकताटंक लीला विग्रहधारिणी अजाक्षय विनिर्मुक्ता मुग्धा क्षिप्र प्रसादिनी अंतर्मुख समाराध्या बहिर्मुख सुदुर्लभा त्रयी त्रिवर्ग निलया त्रिस्था त्रिपुरमालिनी निरामया निरालंबा स्वात्मा रामा सुधाश्रुति संसार पंक निर्मग्न समुद्धरण पंडिता यज्ञप्रिया यज्ञकर्त्री यजमान स्वरूपिणी धर्माधारा धन अध्यक्षा धनधान्य विवर्धिनी विप्रप्रिया विप्ररूपा विश्वभ्रमणकारिणी विश्वग्रासा विद्रुमाभा वैष्णवी विष्णुरूपिणी आयो निर्योनि निलया कूटस्थाकुलरूपिणी वीरगोष्ठी प्रिया वीरा नैष्कर्म्यानादरूपिणी विज्ञानकलनाकल्या विदग्धा बैन्दवासना तत्वादिका तत्वमयी तत्वमर्थस्वरूपिणी सामगान्न प्रिया सौम्या सदा शुकुटुंबिनी सव्यापसव्य मार्गस्था सर्वापद्विनिवारिणी स्वस्था स्वभाव मधुरा धीरा धीर समर्चिता चैतन्यार्घ्य समाराध्या चैतन्य कुसुम प्रिया सदोदिता सदा दुष्टा तरुणादित्यपाटला दक्षिणा दक्षिणाराध्या दरस्मेर मुखाम्बुजा कौलिनी केवल अनर्घ्या कैवल्य पददायिनी स्तोत्र प्रिया सुधिमती श्रुति संस्कृत वैभवा मनस्विनी मानवती महेशी मंगलाकृति विश्वमाता जगद्धात्री विशालाक्षी विरागिनी प्रगल्भा परमोदारा परामोदा मनोमयी व्योमकेशी विमानस्था वज्रिणी वामकेश्वरी पंचयज्ञ प्रिया पंचप्रेत पंचाधिशायिनी पंचमी पंचभूतेशी पंचसंख्योपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतेश्वर्या शर्मदा शंभुमोहिनी धरा धरसुता धन्या धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता शमात्मिका बंधु कुसुम प्रख्या बाला लीला विनोदिनी सुमंगली सुखकरी सुवेशाढ्या सुवासिनी सुवासिन्यर्चन प्रीता शोभना शुद्धमानसा बिंदुतर्पण संतुष्टा पूर्वजा त्रिपुरांबिका दशमुद्रा समाराध्या त्रिपुरा शिवशंकरी ज्ञानमुद्रा ज्ञानगम्य ज्ञानज्ञेय स्वरूपिणी योनिमुद्रा त्रिखंडेशी त्रिकोणांबा त्रिकोणका अनघाद्भुत चारित्र्य वांछिता अर्थप्रदायिनी अभ्यासादिश ज्ञाता श्रद्धातीत रूपिणी अव्याज करुणामूर्तिरज्ञान अध्वांत दीपिका आबाल गोपविदिता सर्वानुल्यंघ शासना श्रीचक्रराज निलया श्रीमत् त्रिपुर सुंदरी श्री शिवा शिव शक्त्यैक्य रूपिणी ललितांबिका एवं श्रीललिता देव्या नाम्नां साहस्रकं जकुः एते श्री ब्रह्मांड पुराणे उत्तरखंडे श्री हयग्रीवागस्त्य संवादे श्री ललिता सहस्रनाम स्तोत्र कथनम संपूर्णम. I'll be back. Hari Om. Y'all can hear me clearly? Awesome. Let us begin with the invocation of Bhagavatam. सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः. यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः. तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयः यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमः निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्. श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते प्रकृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात्. निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमुतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. Young Dhruva, having been admonished by his stepmother, unprotested onlooker was the father, came back stomping to his mother with lot of anger. More than anger, probably dejected and frustrated with that dejection. Narrated the whole story. His mother Suniti also agreed that though out of anger, your mother still gave you a good advice. She said, go pray to that Bhagavan Sriman Narayana. He alone can change your fate. He, even in anger, even in jealousy, even in rage, the kind of admonishing was still, even in that day, that days in comparison to today, I'd say the greed, or it looked very sattvic. It was not like ja kal muye ja mar. No, there was no such harshness nowhere. But instead, it was an advice that go connect to your source, connect to that divine. So when encouraged by his mother, he walked out of the palace, walked out of the kingdom, and probably if we were the mother, if I was the mother, yeah, talking from Kali Yuga standpoint, बेटा सेल फोन ले रहे हो, चार्जर ले रहे हो, ट्रैकिंग डिवाइस ले रहे हो, पता नहीं जंगल में, we would be scared. Today we talk about children not communicating when you text, when they go to schools and colleges. I thinking of Dhruva, there's so many thoughts that came in. It's like when we were going to school, when at least I had started going to school using a public transit system from second grade or something, or even second grade. If there was a bus strike, if there was rains and the roads got clogged, or whatever it was, there was no way for the parents to know where I was until I reached home. They had the confidence that पहुंच जाएगा घर. There was no text messaging. And when most of you shifted in that particular time when into US, where getting a response, like letter writing, by the time that letter would reach here, and then you would read the content and then respond to it, you should have probably thought of that event, that which should be communicated at least 3-4 months ahead of time, communicated. By the time the response comes, probably it would be a week or two after the event has happened. That's how the communication was. Now this mother is sending away this kid. What is her confidence? The confidence is only one thing. My anchor is my nishtha, my shraddha, my bhakti in Bhagavan. And a complete acceptance that whatever is the prarabdha, nobody can avoid it. One can only deal with it as it comes. Beyond that, above that, there was nothing else. That was the confidence. And that was the strength of that shraddha. That this mother lovingly bid farewell to her son. She said, Jao, tapas karo. How old was that kid? 5-year-old. In today's world, especially in an American context, probably a CPS would be slapped on that mother. How dare you send your kid unattended, unaccompanied, that to a forest? This kid also, with that confidence, steps out, probably, and then he walked out. Imagine a 5-year-old, 5-year-old dusting his Angavastra, putting on its shoulder, and with absolutely nothing. Where will be the next meal? Don't care, don't know. Where will I rest next? I don't know. But I know that I have to connect with that Bhagwan, and tapas can be done in forest. I'm heading towards that direction. जाके करोगे क्या? What will you do? When the intention and the intensity is pure, that divine connects the dots to make sure that the bridge is well laid. As soon as he stepped out, heading towards the forest, Narada Mahamuni appeared. He appeared and said, "Beta, kar kya rahe ho? Where are you going?" "I'm going to find Bhagwan, ask him some questions." As if he was in the next street. They go, "Hey, Bhagwan, answer do." No, it was completely a different terrain that which he had no clue about. So Naraji tried to dissuade him. He said, great Rishi, they keep doing tapas for lives together. Even the devatas find it difficult. It's a similar kind of a pattern which Bhagavan Yamadharma Raja tells Nachiketa. And both of their responses pretty solid inspiration. And almost Nachiketa though with a twinkle in his eye, "Oh, you mean to say that even Devas? Then definitely I want to know." Here Dhruva says, "Yeah, that is okay. Because they cannot find it being a Deva. Only a Manava can find. Therefore, I am quite qualified for it. Send me now." Not to him. Bhagavan Naradji very beautifully says, "Beta, for anything in life, how centered are you in your conviction and connection with Bhagavan? That alone matters." बाकी सब not even tertiary. So forget about it being primary and secondary, not even tertiary. So he says in the 41st sloka, "Dharmartha kama mokshakhyam ya ichhe shreya atmanaha ekameva harestatra karanam padasevanam." ये श्लोक है ना, मेमोराइज करके रख लो. It is almost equivalent to Sarvadharman Parityajya. Resonating, fine tuning very beautifully. It says Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, Chaturvedha Purushartha, whichever be the Purushartha, Ya Icchet Shreya Atmanaha, whatever for the Shrestha path of your journey, what you are seeking, there is only one way. Harehe Ekam Eva Tatra Karanam. It is by the blessings of that Bhagavan Shri Hari alone. Now, for that mind which has this conviction that my Dharmartha Kama is Bhagavan and Sadguru, there is no one else. My Guru Maharaj in my life is Sakshat, the very form of that Bhagavan himself. Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Where will there be any scope for insecurities? Where will be there a scope for any kind of agitated mindset? Yes, looking at you unagitated, others around you may be agitated about that fact. That is their headache. But where will there be a scope for that? कि बड़े बड़े साधक बनने की कोशिश करते हैं, बड़े बड़े वेदांत आप बनने की कोशिश करते हैं, सिंपल सी बात, वेरी सिंपल फैक्ट, व्हाट इज द क्वोशंट ऑफ माई श्रद्धा इन भगवान, माई श्रद्धा इन गुरु? दैट भगवान, whether it is vyavahara, dharma, artha, kama, or in the nivritti marga, which is moksha, my anchor is none other than you. Otherwise, all this Vedanta, what good is it? There's a basic baseline. अब तक निभाया है, आगे भी निभा लेना। भगवान मेरी नैया उस पार लगा देना, अब तक निभाया है, आगे भी निभा लेना। In that bhajan, there is one sentence that I often repeat to my own mind, कि संभव है झंझटों में, in this colossal samsaric way of life, the entire Maya and its impact dal bankar, like it comes and overwhelming, झट आके छुड़ा ले जाना. You come, like how you have been there for Gajendra, how you have been there for Prahlada, how you have been there for everyone. I know you will. But otherwise, what happens with the sense of insecurities and fears and comparisons, jealousies, frustrations? We may be talking Vedantic terms, Atma, Paramatma, Atma Nityam, Jagan Mithya, blah blah blah, blee blee blee, blue blue blue, कुछ तो कुछ करते रहेंगे. But the agitation is written all over the face. Shanta Sumanaha Bhava. Become Shanta Chitta. No crookedness, there is no scope for crookedness if we are seekers. Whether it is in thought, whether it is in word, whether it is in action. I'm not saying you should not perceive the world as to what is happening in reality. Perceive it. You don't need to turn like the worldliness. This is a very beautiful concept. Dharmartha kama mokshakyam ya ichet shreya atmanah. Hare he tatra karanam ekameva. There is nobody else other than Bhagwan. Sometimes when we are very shaken up, one support may not be. दो हाथ से पकड़ते हैं ना, तो एक हाथ से भगवान को पकड़ो, एक हाथ से गुरु को पकड़ो. वैसे दोनों अलग अलग नहीं है, पकड़ो. And nothing else is required to be held. The rest of it will be. And Dhruva gets the point. ऐसे ठीक है, हरि को पकड़ेंगे. हरि, be careful, Nana. So he said, what should I do now? If that is what, okay, agreed. So what should I do now? I said, take bath, purify yourself, and do the dhyana sankalpa of this kind of Shri Vigraha of Bhagwan Shri Hari. So you sit on the seat, do your pranayama, bring the focal point of your mind, and with that focused mind, remember, meditation करेंगे हम to get a focal point, and कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. उल्टे लटके हैं. With the focus mind, where do you gain that focus mind from? With your pranayama. So with the pranayama, bring the mind to that focal point, and with that focused mind, think of that Sri Hari. How is he? That beautiful description is given. Tarunam Ramaniyangam Arunoshte Kshanadharam Pranatashrayanam Rumnam Sharanyam Karunarnavam. Tarunam Ramaniyangam. When you see something very proportionate, very aesthetically placed, your mind gets drawn at it, doesn't it? एक बार, I think it was in a Balavihar camp, the appropriateness had to be taught. And this was 7th, 8th, 9th graders that I was teaching, and there was a lot of to and fro arguments. So in the evening, I had 3 classes with them per day. So in the evening class, I went with this bindi here, red dot on this side, and I went. We used to do Guru Stotram in the beginning. Not a single kid chanted Guru Stotram that day. Because they were already distracted. They were laughing, but I kept a straight face. Akhanda mandalakaram tumeo mata cha. And then very sternly I looked at all of them. It takes a lot of effort to not jump in laughter and be a part of the merry there. So I, very stern face, said, "What is wrong with you all this day? Swamiji, your bindi. It is there somewhere on the head, right?" So no, it looks odd. It looks distracting. It would have been preferred if you did not put it on. But putting it there, no, it doesn't make sense. It has to be proper. Achha. You want us all to be in a proper way, but you will never be in that. The appropriateness wo samajh mein aa gaya. So what happens when things are in proper aesthetic, beautiful balance? Mind automatically converges to that point. Effortlessly converges to that point. Therefore, when you sit at the altar, when you arrange, it should be like that the mind should get to that convergence point. It is not like, it should be organized in such a way that the eyes are the window for the inside, and it is completely converging to that point. However beautiful, however, it doesn't get distracted any further. भगवान के पूजा के लिए बैठे हुए हैं. I think it was recent puja. I think it was Divya who was there. Swamiji, 2 minutes prasada. At that point, to open up all these lids will become difficult. Can I keep it open, like jarred open, and at that time it will be easier? I said, we will be only the ones being distracted. Imagine pranayama, viniyoga, all that. Oh, vada vasana is so good. Oh, puliyodare vasana is so good. Distractions should be minimized. And once that beautiful convergence point is it, whatever be it, कौन क्या साड़ी पहना है, कौन क्या गहने पहना है, क्या कलर कॉम्बिनेशन है, क्या गहने, how does it matter who wear what? Who wears what? Who wear what and who wears what? Both. It doesn't become even a point of conversation. Bhagwan. Ramaniyangam, so beautiful that Bhagavan is looking, that nothing else matters. And he has a beautiful smile on his face, a radiating smile on his face. And then श्रीवत्साङ्कं घनश्यामं पुरुषं वनमालिनं शङ्खचक्रगदापद्मैः अभिव्यक्तचतुर्भुजम्. He is seated in a beautiful lotus with Shankachakra Gada Padma Chaturbhujam, four-armed Bhagwan Sri Hari. And he has Vanamala, he is Tulsi Mala, he is all of this with the backdrop of a very nice, dark, deep, bluish hue on the skin, and Pitambara Sushobhitam. And there is this nice, beautiful silken cloth, shining yellow color, golden yellow color. I mean, if oh, 1 second before I make the statement, I was going to say like the cloth color that our Hari is wearing. I couldn't see it today. The deep golden color, but with a softness to that color. He is, covered. And then on the top of it, Kiritinam Kundalinam Keyuravalayānvitam Kaustuva Bharanagrivam Pita Kausheyavasasam. No, Pita Kausheyavasasam, he is covered with his yellow robes. And then Kiritinam Kundalinam, there is the helmet, not helmet. There is the crown. There is the crown on his head, and Kundalinam, Makara Kundala Dhari. His earrings are shaped like a crocodile. There are some of the most beautiful designs of that I have seen, where it curves and it's so beautiful, that is hanging on his Makara Kundala Dhari. And there are armlets, and there are it's Sushobhitam, there's Sarvalankara Bhushitam. And then the 49th shloka. There is then the focus is on the feet. There is the nice, it's not a bracelet, payal jo bolte hain. So there is that on his ankles. Then there is a nice floral design on his feet. So he gives all this description, and then he says, Darshaniyatamam Shantam Mano Nayana Vardhanam. That is the point. Mano Nayana Vardhanam. That the eyes are just flowing into that Shri Vigraha, that form of Bhagavan, that whoever comes, doesn't matter. The mind is undistracted. It's just focused, effortlessly focused, and in that focal point, how is the mind? Darshaniyatamam Shantam. That Shri Vigraha is Shanta. Observing that, my mind also becomes Shanta. So Bhagavan Naraji says, the 52nd shloka, Evam Bhagavato Rupam Subhadram Dhyayato Manaha Nirvritya Paraya Turnam Sampannam Nanivartate. Having seen this kind of visualization in our own heart, Nivritya Paraya Turnam Sampannam Nanivartate. That image is so engrossing, that Bhagavan's presence is so captivating, that the mind will not get out of it. If properly visualized, it gets soaked in it. Evam bhagavato rupam subhadram dhyayato manaha. If this is learnt, that mind which learns this, where is the scope for bora irukku? ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕೋ ಏನೋ. बहुत टाइम है, पता नहीं क्या करना है अपने को, खाली पीली बैठल है. As soon as that whatever swadharma you have fulfilled it, you have pocket of time, sit down and Shri Hari Smaran. Hari Smarane ಮಾಡುವಾಗ you are completely, there is not like, I have to have the external discipline of withdrawing all the organs of perception, action, swa golake, and then tie them down. It feels very cumbersome. With bhakti, what happens? All that effortlessly gets placed. It's like when the kid is watching his favorite cartoon, you don't have to tell that kid to be not distracted by other things, chocolate or for toys or other things. Mama, and then completely gone into it deep. Nivritya parayaturnam sampannam nanivartate. Now when you have reached to that quietude, that sanctuary of peace within, I tell you, that is the strength. Whatever outside world, however tsunamical, overwhelming things that it may be, doesn't matter. It doesn't reach, it doesn't create a dent, a ripple in your heart. Avichalita manasa, shanta manasa. Such mind has to be used for japa. He says, Japyascha paramo guhyaha shruyatam me nripatmaja yam saptaratram prapatan puman pashyati kecharan. You will start seeing Siddha Kinnara Kim Purusha if you do it 7 days sincerely. In 7 days, Tare Zameen Par. You will start seeing all these special effects. Now, what is the mantra? This is, now pay attention. This is the most sacred, most powerful mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya iti. This is the mantra. So how many aksharas are there in this mantra? Count. I asked only to count, not to answer. Dvadasha akshara. Dvadashakshari mantra. So this is called Dvadashakshari mantra. The Om Namah Shivaya or Namah Shivaya is called Panchakshari. So when we say in passing reference Dvadashakshari, it means Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mantrenanena devasya kuryad dravyamayin buddha. This is, now this mantra, sit in that place which is pavitra. Nadi Kshetra is considered as pavitra. Take the bath in the river, come to a secluded place, put your asana, yathochita, and sit down, and there before you start this japa, do your puja. पहले प्राणायाम हुआ, फिर हुआ ध्यान, ध्यान के बाद पूजा करो. Even in puja, what is the first step? Dhyayami, dhyanam samarpayami. So that is the dhyana, and dhyana uparanta there is puja. And the puja is by what? Salilaihi shuchibihi malyer vanyer moola phaladibihi. Gather all the things that are ingredients that are prescribed for a puja in a simplistic way. Get the flowers, get the durvankura. This has to be explained. Tulasi dala. It is not tulsi ka patta. When people bring tulasi to a puja and other things, I see them bring the patta. No, tulasi dala. Even in Tyagaraja Kriti, he says, Tulasi dala mulache. So that tulasi dala. Dala means the tip, there are those 3 to 5 leaves, tender leaves. That tip has to be taken out. That tip you make a mala, and then that has been offered to Bhagavan. ये पत्ते पत्ते तोड़ के लाते हैं. Once I think somebody brought bilva leaves. I felt so pained because they painstakingly broke every single leaf. Bilva dala means more than 2 to 3 leaves. That comes naturally in 3 leaves. It is not to be broken in on one singular leaf and then chipka diya wahan pe. Nahi. Durvankura also is not one blade of grass. Ankura, the tip of it, about 3 to 5 blades together, that you gather. So tulasi dala, durvankura, then the flowers, then the berries and the roots. Gather all of them. Gather the water fresh from the river. And then after having gathered all of these, sit down. Labdhva dravyamayi marcham. Now perform the puja wherein all the steps that have been prescribed, minimum 16 steps. Dhyayami, dhyayam samarpayami, avahayami, asanam samarpayami, and padyam samarpayami, arghyam samarpayami, achamaniyam samarpayami, snanam samarpayami. All these 16 steps. For those of you, kya bol rahe Swami ji? What does it all mean? Dhyayami, I contemplate on that Bhagavan, that Shri Vigraha in my heart, invoke his presence, and then request him to be seated in that beautiful Pratima. And then I wash his feet, wash his hands, give him refreshing water, then lovingly give him a spa treatment, and then nicely wipe it down, and then put him beautiful clothes, then adorn with alankara. Then when you put your bindi and you carry a packet extra or a shringar thing, and then when you get and then if it is little big also, and my face it doesn't suit, okay. Oh, Bhagavan ke liye, like a cow dung on a wall, like patak, this much of chandana and that much of take time na. Bhagavan is sitting there in front of you. आराम से बैठो. 2 मिनट एक्स्ट्रा लग गया तो लग जाने दो ना. कौन सा पहाड़ टूट पड़ रहा है पीछे? आराम से अलंकार करो. And it is not a habit that you put all bindis, all chandan, all kumkum all over the vigraha हाथ में लगा दिया, पूंछ पे लगा दिया, सर पे लगा दिया, माथे पे लगा दिया, पेट पे लगा दिया, पैर पे लगा दिया. ये बाबा, it should be alankara, not a vikriti. It's an adorning beauty that you have to present. So do the then do the archana. Now, that is one portion where you don't need to rush, because you are educating your mind to tune into those qualities. Om Ajaya Namaha, Om Avyayaya Namaha, Om Avinashine Namaha, Om Ajaya Namaha, Om Ajaya Namaha, Om Ajaya Namaha. ओम और नमः के बीच में बाकी सब स्वाहा आहा. Spend time there. And then you have the Dhupa Deepa Naivedya. It need not be elaborated, छप्पन भोग नहीं चाहिए. But whatever little that you organize, offer it to Bhagavan. And then the Arati. Then do your Kshama Prarthana and do the Pradakshana Namaskar. After that puja is done, then he says, he also mentions here that those who are doing the upasana this way, which whoever is your Ishtadeva, here it is with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya and Bhagavan Sri Hari. If it is Devi, if it is Shiva, whoever it is, with that particular Mula mantra of that Ishtadeva that you have been initiated with, each step, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Dhyayami, Dhyanam Samarpayami, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Avahayami, Asanam Samarpayami, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Padyam Samarpayami. So with each upachara, you chant the Mula mantra, along with it, perform the puja. This is in the 58th sloka. Paricharya bhagavato yavatyaha mantra hridaye naiva. With that mantra that is being initiated, that mantra which you have been given, with that each step of the upachara has to be performed. Evam kayena manasa vachasa cha manogatam paricharya mano bhagavan bhaktimat paricharyaya. This is, now with that focal point, get to a point where the mind completely merges, is consciously aware, alert, and yet has reached to a quietude by chanting this mantra. Intensify your mantra chanting. Sync it with your breathing. When it intensifies to a point where Bhagavan feels compelled to come and give you darshan. इतना सब सिखा पढ़ाने के बाद, do this dhyana, do this pranayama, do this mantra, do this upachara, do this japa. After that, they'll come and ask, Swami ji, और क्या करें? नाखून है? हाँ, खाओ. To have the mind soaked in it and completely submerged with that Bhagavat Nama Sankirtana, that nothing else is required. That is the sadhana. Intensify it, fine tune it, merge it with your breathing. Thus, having given him this ityuktah tam parikamya pranamya cha nruparbhakah yayau madhuvanam punyam harescharana charchitam. So he went to that Madhuvanam near Vrindavana, and he sat there. He left for that after having done prostrations to Bhagavan Narad Ji for having guided him. Tapovanam gate tasmin. Now he went there and he's like, oh my, no, I traveled from there, reached Tapovana. हाँ, कल से साधना शुरू करूंगा. No, as soon as he reached, he was so excited. He jumped into the river, bathed, and sat down and started immediately. Now Naraji was not pleased with some things. He helped that kid. The kid got his direction. He left. From there, he went straight to the palace of Uttanapad to straighten that fellow. कि भाई बच्चे के साथ ऐसा करते हैं. So Narada uvacha Rajan kim dhyayase dirgham mukhena parishusyata kim va narishyate kamaha dharmo varthena samyutaha. He says, hey Rajan, dirghamukam, why are you like edgy long faced fellow? Why the long face? And why does it look all like dry and in a pensive mode? What, you have lost your dharma, you have lost your artha, what happened? So the king, as soon as Naradji asked him that, Raja said, Ayyo, yen chapmantarandi. What do I say? Where do I begin? Suto me balako brahman straina करुणात्मना निर्वासितः पंचवर्षः सह मात्रा महान कविः. My 5-year-old, my own wife, though stepmother, she just, kicked him out, and I could say nothing, I could do nothing. And if I were in Naradji's position, I would have bent back and looked at the back of Uttanapada. कि बैकबोन है कि नहीं? But Naradji was decent. He is Naradji. How could you allow somebody like that? He says, now I hear that he has left also. I am now scared. I am worried for that kid. All that it was, I had to take him on the lap, and all this would have not had happened. Shrantam shayanam kshuditam. I don't know where he is going to sleep, what he is going to eat, who is going to feed him. And if he's gone to the forest, I don't know what kind of environment that forest is. Ayyayyo, ಏನು ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಅಯ್ಯಯ್ಯೋ. I'm not making it all up. He's saying it. Aho me bata dauratmyam strijitasyo par adharaya. He says, it is my mandabuddhi that I allowed my wife to take over that situation, and I brought it upon myself, and I have been, this is not justified to my son. Then Naradji says, Naradji must have thought, bolu ki nahi bolu? Should I put his mind at ease? He said, okay, let me put his mind at ease. Ma shuchaha, ma shuchaha. Don't fret, don't worry. Why? Swatanayam devaguptam visham. I met him, and I have given him the direction, but he seems to be of a firm resolve. and he will complete those things that many great people will not have ever accomplished. Having accomplished all of that, he'll come back to you soon. Don't you worry about it. So Naraji sang, "Don't worry, be happy," to Uttanapada. And then Naraji left from that place. इति देवर्षिणा प्रोक्तं विश्रुत्य जगतीपतिः राज्यलक्ष्मी मनाधृत्य पुत्रमेवान् वेवान् विचिन्तयत्. So Uttanapada, now that he learned his lesson, he became Udasina, unaffected, unimpacted by these unnecessary attractions and the impact of it, and then be nice to one wife, not be nice to other wife, and get entangled on. He got his clarity. एक बार बोल दिया, clarity आ गया. My grandfather used to scold. He used to scold very, very unique ways. But one thing that he would say, which I think is very common in Andhra, he used to say that, when I think I will edit out the Gali portion. The point being that, look, when you want to grow out of something, it is not like things are going to change and then I'm going to make a impactful change. No, things will be around all over the place every single time. And it so seems like that we in our life with Varth Prarabdha, that which irritates us most is around us. Constantly pushing the button. When will that environment change? When I have grown to a point where this externality does not have an impact. Like Amrutanjan. Poye poche. Gayab. It will get just dissolved. So one single message to this man, it was enough for him to change, transform. That keenness to take, whether it is criticism, whether it is advice, whether it is a well-wisher's word, and to transform that moment into an experience where it only uplifts and elevates. Otherwise, where do we waste our time? मेरे को बोला उसने. He said this to me. Me. Why did it, me? Whatever was said, does it have a point? Even remotely, is there a point? If there is a point, shut up, listen, process, grow. Uttanapada did that. And what happened? This is now the story of our Dhruv Maharaj. Now the scene is cut from the palace. We go back to the forest. Director's cut. He says, the first 3 days, he set up everything and he set a pattern to himself. He said, every day, this whole eating and getting, and this is too much distracting. He said, once in 3 days, I will get up from my dhyana. Triratrante kapitha badarashana. once in 3 days he would get up, take a shower, take a break, get some food, eat, I mean offer it to Bhagwan, do the puja, offer it to Bhagwan, eat that prasada, and then go back and meditate for next 3 days. He said, ये भी कुछ ज्यादा है, this is also a time waste. Then he said, once in a month, I'll eat some handful and then focus on Bhagwan. Then once in 6 months he took a break. His nishtha was that strong. हम अपनी बात करते हैं. The Dhruva has already attained what he has to attain. Now where are we and how? If we can focus on having 5 to 10 minutes morning and evening, 5 to 10 minutes morning, evening 5 to 10 minutes. And at that time, it's not like, I'll walk in the lawn and have a cup of coffee and सब बगल में लगाओ, बैठो एक जगह. Swamiji, is it okay if I keep chanting the name of Bhagwan in everything that I'm doing? ठीक है बाबा, निष्ठा से एक जगह बैठ के कर पा रहे हो कि नहीं? That is more important. That cannot be, given up in saying that, while driving also I am talking, while driving also I am chanting the name of Bhagwan. That बाल विहार बच्चे के लिए कहते हैं ना, खाते भी राम कहो, सोते भी राम कहो, चलते भी राम कहो, राम राम राम, टा. It is for the kid to get that interest. हम उसी we stay in that level itself and say that I am doing that much. वो तो बच्चा भी करना चाहिए. तुमने क्या एक्स्ट्रा किया? What else is the sadhana where you have at least 5-10 minutes sit down to a point where it gets absorbed that nothing else matters. Sometimes it may take, consider yourself blessed if usually you chant your japa in 20 minutes and that day after japa in Shanta Chitta you could sit there for and continue sitting there for and you didn't even realize that half an hour passed by. Swamiji, sometimes, I don't know if I'm meditating or sleeping, but, and I get out of that whole thing after, I don't know what happens, that 1 hour at least. Should I keep alarm? Should I keep, if it is actually the japa and the japa rasa that you are merging in, these confusions will not be there. Let that mind soak in it. Give that opportunity. Once that rasa gets in, I tell you, you don't need a pravachana or any other push from any other side saying, "Re Baba, japa karo re Baba." Whose kriti it is, I don't know, but the kriti says, "Rama namamu ento madhuramura." That the name of Bhagavan itself is so sweet, nothing else is required on that jihva. On that tongue, nothing else need to be entertained. Once that Rama Nama Rasa gets in. So then 6th month, then what happened? By the end of that 6th month, he found an attunement of his japa with his breathing. And when that merger happened, his individual breath connected with the collective samashti breath. As soon as that connection happened, How was Dhruva? He would take a breath, hold it in for a long period. His Kumbhaka, Antar Kumbhaka was a very long period. And his individual prana merged into the Samashti prana. And that prana, he took it in and in Kumbhaka. He retained. What happened to the Samashti prana? That also got retained. Now, as soon as that happened, everybody, every being in all the 14 bhuvanas, they're like, Bhagwan, please, your devotee he's seeking your attention. If you don't give your attention, we will be in tension. Please. They all prayed and requested Bhagwan to, reach out to this, Devaha Uchuhu. Naivam vidamo Bhagavan pranarodham. This fellow has done the Pranarodha, the Kumbhaka that he has done. Characharasya akhila sattvadhamnaha. The entire Charachara Jagat has become like a Sthambi Bhuta. It is like completely stopped by him. Videhitanno, please protect us all. Prapta vayam tvam sharanam sharanyam. Therefore we have come. Please go and bring that Dhruva. What a sincere, amazing tapasvi that we have seen. So Bhagavan gave darshan to him. And he said, Ma bhaishtabalam tapasaha. Don't worry, oh little child, your tapas has satisfied me. When you go back to your father, you will rule for a very, very long time. As you go back, you will rule a very long time. So now please open your eyes, release this prana bandhana, let the loka have a fresh breath of air and touches that Dhruva. Bhagavan touches him with his hand. And Dhruva opens his eyes. Sees this beautiful, amazing form Vigraha of Bhagavan standing in front of him. So now what did Dhruva say to that Bhagavan? That we will see in the next chapter. That also is very important. I think we have seen this particular portion during the pandemic. So that Dhruva Stuti, and when he asks, that is the most important thing. He says, Bhagavan, order cancel. I don't want any of these. I have I don't want anything else. The Bhagavan says, no, this is not your Uber Eats. That you suddenly can cancel it and say, Vapas. If there is a desire, as Ishvara, it is my job to fulfill. Dhruva had only one desire. And he had to stay until that vasana of that desire is completely annihilated. Again, Dhruva has already attained what he has to attain. शोले में पूछता है ना, अब तेरा क्या होगा कलिया, हमारा क्या होना है अभी. Therefore, while going through this bhakti, we have to also put an effort to make sure to understand what is required. Should we even promote? Should we annihilate the karma, vasana, and the bandhana of it, while making sure that I fulfill all my responsibilities from the inside? How much of this vasana, karma, bandha has to be entertained or even allowed? so that when we sit on the seat and do this bhakti, there is nothing that pulls us out from inside or outside. We'll see that Dhruvastuti next week. See you in the next satsang. Amma, today we will not chant Hanuman Chalisa because I just realized we are 12:02. Sorry for extending it 2 minutes. I'll conclude it. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Take care, everyone.